Welcome back, YouTube, to my closet. It is a very tiny, quaint space, but this is where I get ready. I thought I would do my makeup and answer some of the questions you guys asked me on Instagram. There were some good ones, so let's just get right into it. Jumping to the future so you can actually, one, see the makeup look, but I also just didn't like the way I answered the question. I was rambling and not getting to the point, so I'm going to redo question one. But I used the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation, shade 5.5, and then for my bronzing stick, I used the LYS stick in shade Harmony, okay? But the first question was, let me just reread it so I don't get it wrong. What is your daily, weekly schedule? I'm about to quit my corporate job and my kid goes to daycare. So many things I could say on this, clearly, as I did. My biggest tip is picking like 3 pillars of your life, okay? One for you, one for the household, and then one as more of like a passion project, something you can work towards too. I mean, realistically, they're all for you because you got time on your hands. And this is just what I do, okay? For me, I work out and prioritize fitness, and that helps take up a good chunk of my day, makes me feel good, it's productive, I get serotonin from it, I get dopamine from it, and it's a goal, something I can work towards. 2, I love taking care of my house, okay? I spend a lot of time every day cleaning my house, reorganizing things, getting rid of things. I don't like clutter, and it makes me feel good. Again, productive. 3rd thing is finding a hobby or something you can pursue. For me, it's social media, which I truly, truly love so much, and it takes up a good chunk of my time. It can take up really as much time as I want it to, or as little. But if you have these 3 things, I think it'll really help set you up for success, as well as I always say, like having a productive morning. Like I wake up in the morning, I don't sleep in because then I just kind of feel crappy about myself. I clean my room, I make my bed, I do my skincare, I have my coffee, I clean my kitchen, I do a little vacuuming. Like I start checking off tasks right away because then it kind of gets the ball rolling for the day. I think how you set the tone for the morning is kind of how the rest of the day will go. All right, now I'm gonna use the Armani Luminous Silk Cheek Tint in shade 62. I love this shade. It's like purpley pink. It's so nice. Okay, next question. That was a really long answer, and I feel like I could have probably been more direct with it, but can you share more about your Botox journey? Getting curious to try. So I used to work for Allergan, the company that makes Botox, and that is what started the habit because I got it for free. But what I really love about it is, one, it gives you that really smooth, shiny forehead. Mine is actually pretty worn off right now. It gives it a really shiny, smooth forehead, but more than that is I feel like it really helps my face feel more symmetrical. Like right now, you can probably tell this brow is lower, the side of my face is just like smaller, and the Botox really helps fix that. So I've probably done it about 5 times in my life. I like to wait a really long time. I also think I just have a slow metabolism. Like mine lasts a pretty long time, but I wait at least like 6 months to 8 months to sometimes even a year between because I like to let it all wear off and like use my muscles. I don't really care about the wrinkles. For me, it's the facial symmetry that I'm obsessed with. So right now I'm kind of taking a break from it. My brother's wedding is coming up this summer and I kind of want to do it for that. So, I mean, we'll see if I do it. I actually have an appointment next week, but I'm kind of thinking about canceling it and just like embracing it because I don't love the idea of putting toxins in my body. But if you can, and it's expensive, like it's like $400 every time I go. And if you can afford it and you like the way it looks, I am all for it. Next question. As a stay-at-home wife, how are you protecting your future financial security? That was a good one. This is something that I find really hard to talk about because everyone's situation is so different. It's so different, all right? And like, I don't know how much is like okay to say, like, what is like, I don't know what I'm comfortable with saying. Like, I tell like my friends, like, everything, but like on the internet, like, I don't want to say something I'll regret and then it's out there. What I will say is my husband and I both had jobs where we both did really well. And he continues to do really well. And obviously, like, we feel comfortable with the situation. We were both super lucky, never had student loans. So I feel like that really helped put us ahead. We also just had other life things happened that really just put us in an incredible spot, and we're so grateful and we're so thankful for that every single day. And last year we got a team of financial advisors and they helped us feel even more comfortable with this situation. But like, I always try to tell women, like, protect yourself. Like, I feel very comfortable that if Kyle upped and left me tomorrow, I would be okay. And that is so important. I don't have a mountain of debt. I have savings. I will be okay. I can always go back to work. If that was not the situation, I would still be working. It's as simple as that. And do I have like weird guilt about not working? Absolutely. It's something I'm working through and something I like to talk about on the channel or like on my Instagram. But at the same time, like, I feel like it's just so important that I do what I want. I'm living my life and I am working towards something that will hopefully give me financial success in the future. But then again, who knows? Like, it is a risk, but it's a risk I'm able and willing to currently take. So I know it's a little vague, but that's where I'm at. Okay. What was the initial transition out of corporate world like? Highs and lows? Lows and highs, both. Like, it is a very real thing, and it's not talked about enough because you're supposed to be so lucky and so happy and so thankful that you get to leave your job, which, yes, but it's like, then there's this extra pressure of like, okay, now I need to be happy. I have everything I want. Like, I'm so lucky. I don't get to ever be down or have a bad day or complain. It's BS. I had quit my job earlier in our relationship when I first moved from Chicago to move in and be with Kyle in Cleveland, Ohio. And I was so depressed. I was so down bad. For like 2 months, all I was doing was applying for jobs and getting rejected. And I think that's like one of the times I was the most down bad in my life. So when I left this job, I was very scared for having all this time on my hands, not knowing what is next. And you have to make a plan. And like I said, the biggest thing is having something you care about to work towards every single day. That is what will keep you from the highs and lows. Something steady, okay? But it's okay, like, if you feel down bad. And like, there were definitely days where like I would wake up and be like, what am I going to do today? Like, I have no purpose. I have no blah, blah, blah. Like, I just feel sad and lost and like I should go back to work and blah, blah, blah. It's all very normal. I'm getting distracted. This is just like a Wet n Wild eyeliner pencil that's brown that I'm going to try to throw on. And then there are definitely highs, like where you feel amazing, but also it's like, oh, you want to go do all this stuff, but everything, like every time you leave your house, you spend money, right? And you're like, oh, I just lost this huge income. I don't want to spend money. Oh, I want to hang out with my friends. Oh, all my friends are working. Like, there are definitely weird dynamics that you just kind of have to get used to and adjust. Like, I love being alone. I'm very comfortable being alone. If you are not someone that is comfortable being alone, this might be a hard life for you because everyone else is still busy and working. Most people, you know, unless you have like a great community of stay-at-home moms or stay-at-home wives, then that's amazing as well, obviously. But it's something to think about. And I definitely miss like having work friends, but I don't miss the stress and anxiety that came with it. Like, I was actually talking to Kyle, my husband. I was like, wait, I don't think we've had a fight since I've stopped working because I'm so much less stressed and I try to appreciate my life every single day and be grateful, but also accept that like, yeah, there are going to be highs and lows and that is okay. All right. What would you say? Oh, where to go? What would you say to a stay-at-home wife who is struggling with feeling guilty for not making an income? I think I've already said it in this video. I feel guilty sometimes, for sure. I mean, I think that just means you're a good person, if that's the case. I'm going to use this Color Science mascara. It just makes you a good person. And like, when I first stopped working, I felt so odd about like spending money on a coffee, and immediately I was like, oh, I don't like this. Like, because before with our incomes, I could pretty much buy anything I wanted outside of like insane luxury items and whatnot. Like, I could get whatever coffee, I could pay for the workout class, I could do whatever and not feel guilt about it. And that definitely changed when I stopped working. I think like, if you know you're being financially responsible, you get to give yourself like rewards here and there. And it's still something I struggle with because obviously I recognize that it is his money most of the time. But like I said, for a while I have had my own chunk of money as well, but it's getting to the point where that has dwindled and I'm starting to spend more of his money on things that are simply just for me. And literally the way that I get out of the guilt is that I know when we have kids, like, one, I will be obviously carrying the children and I will be taking on the primary load. I think moms do, whether you're working or not, honestly. And I look at it as an advance on my salary. That is how I look at it. That is how I get myself to not feel so bad about it. Plus thinking about the things I do for him every day. Like, I clean our house every day. I scrub off the toilet every day. Not every day, but I make sure there's food in the house. I take care of the dog primarily. I do his laundry. Like, and he is so grateful for that and he's very thankful for that. And if your man's not, that's a whole other thing, but he recognizes that like and I look at it, his income is partly my income too, because I am doing things that take up time. Time is money. He gets to put all that extra time that he no longer has to spend on those things into work and make more money. Does that make sense? It is a lot. Like, it's weird. It's confusing. It can be a mind game. There are days where I don't care at all and I'll spend whatever. And there are days where I feel more weird about it. So you're not alone. You're not alone. I definitely think about it. Sorry if you can hear the wind. It's like crazy out there, but I think that mascara is going bad because that did not, I think it's dried out a little. That did not go well. Do you have an allowance? No, I don't. But it is something we've talked about a little bit, actually more so when we were talking about like prenups and whatnot. Because I have heard of women that are stay-at-home wives or stay-at-home moms that like they get some sort of document when they get married, or some sort of prenuptial agreement saying like so much is deposited into the woman's account, blah, 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 especially when she's like raising kids and stuff. I'm not above that. Like, I think that's a great idea. You can do that. I would do that. But then again, I don't know. Like, I don't know if I'll do that. Like, I do think it's smart, but I also, yeah, I don't know. I don't have an allowance currently. I just spend kind of what I want to spend. But again, I try to be really responsible about it and not obnoxious. And when I have a kid, I do think it'll change a little bit when we have a child, because I feel like then I'm in more of a vulnerable place if you were to have to leave me, which again, I really don't foresee that happening. But these are the things like I do think about it. Like, I'm not dumb. Like, you should think about what happens. Okay, where do I end up if I end up alone? Like, again, and also like not even just him leaving me, but like accidents, death. Like, my dad died. Like, I think about these things, right? I don't know where I stand on it yet, so I feel like maybe I actually just shouldn't speak on it. But all I want to put out there is that you're being financially responsible and thinking of yourself and thinking of the worst case scenario. I don't want to portray this like I'm not worried about it willy-nilly thing, because I think about it. This is the Charlotte Tilbury lip liner in Iconic Nude. It is a favorite of mine. It's so pretty. How do you answer what do you do for a living as an ex-corporate girly? This I get, okay? And I will say people have been surprisingly nice and kind about it when I have told people that I'm a stay-at-home wife, but I did have someone laugh in my face recently at an event. I went to like an influencer event and it was two moms, which like I get, if you're a mom, especially if you're a bitter mom, you're gonna hate me, and that I accept, you know, because I love my life and I love who I am and I know I'm a good person and I know I'm not some spoiled entitled brat that people might think or see when they hear that I'm a stay-at-home wife. So that was kind of unfortunate, but like for the most part, people don't care as much as you think they do, you know? Like, people don't care what you're doing. They're so worried about how they're introducing themselves and what they're saying. But you have to have confidence in it. You have to own it. It's your life. It's your choice. You obviously made it for a certain reason, and you just have to own it, and who cares what anyone thinks? If they're upset, they're either jealous, insecure, bored, and like, it's just not your business what they think. You know, like in the beginning, I would make a joke like, oh, I'm retired, or, oh, I think I'm going back to work, because I kind of did and I felt more insecure about it. Now I'll be like, I'm a stay-at-home wife, but I also like do content creation. Or honestly, I try not to even ask people what they do, because like I think it's such a boring question. I'm like, when's your next trip? Hi, how are you? My name's Brooke. Like, what do you enjoy like doing in your free time? Like, that's more exciting and tells me more about who you are than like what you're doing for a paycheck. Hello, I'm editing this video and I'm realizing I just kind of ended it and didn't close it out because I went back and like re-answered the first question. I forgot to end it, but it's a little, it was a little off. I don't really love the video, but I'm going to post it anyway because I do feel like I answered some of the questions. I also feel like I kind of just dragged on about some of them, but I'll get better. I'm new. All right. And thank you for watching. Please like this video and subscribe, and it'll only get better from here. Hopefully.